Hello, we're going to read lunch. We're on Psalms 132. O Jehovah, remember David, all his afflictions, how he swore to Jehovah, vowed to the Mighty One of Yaakov, not to enter into my dwelling house, not to go into my bed, not to give sleep to my eyes or slumber to my eyelids, until I find a place for Jehovah, a dwelling place for the Mighty One of Yaakov. See, we heard of it in Ephrathah. We found it in the fields of the forest. Let us go into his dwelling places. Let us bow ourselves at his footstool. Arise, O Jehovah, to your place of rest, you in the ark of your strength. Let your priest put on righteousness, and your lovingly committed one shout for joy, for the sake of your servant David. Do not turn away the face of your anointed one. Jehovah has sworn in truth to David. He does not turn from it. Of the fruit of your body I set upon your throne. If your sons guard my covenant, and my witnesses that I teach them, their sons shall sit upon your throne forever. For Jehovah has chosen Sion. He has delivered it from his dwelling. This is my place of rest forever. Here I dwell, for I have desired it. I greatly bless her provision. I satisfy her poor with bread, and I put deliverance on her priests, and her lovingly committed ones sing for joy. There I make a horn of David grow. I shall set up a lamp for my anointed one. I put shame on his enemies, while on him his diadem shall shine. See how good and pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. Like the precious oil on the head running down on the beard of Aharon, running down on the collar of his robes, like the dew of Hermon that comes down on the mountains of Sion. For there Jehovah commanded the blessing, life forever. Come, bless Jehovah, all you servants of Jehovah, who are standing in the house of Jehovah by night. Lift up your hands in the set-apart place, and bless Jehovah. Jehovah, maker of the heavens and earth, does bless you from Sion. Praise Yah, praise the name of Jehovah. Praise you, servants of Jehovah. You are standing in the house of Jehovah, in the courts of the house of your Elohim. Praise Yah, for Jehovah is good. Sing praises to his name, for it is pleasant. For Yah has chosen Yaakov for himself, Israel for his treasured possession. For I know that Jehovah is great, and our master is above all mighty ones. Jehovah has done whatever pleased him, in the heavens and in the earth, in the sea and in all the depths, causing vapors to go up from the ends of the earth. He made lightning for the rain, bringing forth wind from his treasures. Who struck the firstborn of Mizraim? From man to beast. He sent signs and wonders into your midst, O Mizraim, O Pharaoh, and on all his servants, who struck many nations and killed mighty sovereigns. Even Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and Og, sovereign of Bashan, and all the reigns of Canaan. And he gave their land as an inheritance to Israel his people. O Jehovah, your name is forever. O Jehovah, your remembrance to all generations. For Jehovah rightly rules his people, and his compassion on his servants. The idols of the nations are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they do not speak. They have eyes, but they do not see. Also, there is no breath in their mouth. Those making them become like them, everyone who is trusting in them. Bless Yehovah, O house of Yisrael. Bless Yehovah, O house of Aharon. Bless Yehovah, O house of Levi. You who fear Yehovah, bless Yehovah. Blessed from Sion, bless Yehovah be. Whoever dwells in Yerushalayim, praise Yah. Give thanks to Yehovah, for he is good, for his loving commitment is everlasting. Give thanks to Elohim of mighty ones, for his loving commitment is everlasting. Give thanks to the Master of masters, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who alone does great wonders, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who by wisdom made the heavens, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who spread the earth on the waters, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who made great lights, for his loving commitment is everlasting. The sun to rule by day, for his loving commitment is everlasting. The moon and the stars to rule by night, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who struck Mizraim in their firstborn, for his loving commitment is everlasting, and brought out Yisrael from their midst, for their loving commitment is everlasting, for his loving commitment is everlasting. With a strong hand and with an outstretched arm, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who split apart the sea of reeds, for his loving commitment is everlasting. And made Yisrael pass through the midst of it, for his loving commitment is everlasting. But shook off Pharaoh and his army in the sea of reeds, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who led his people through the wilderness, for his loving commitment is everlasting. To him who struck great sovereigns, for his loving commitment is everlasting, and killed mighty sovereigns, for his loving commitment is everlasting. Even Sihon, sovereigns of the Amorites, for his loving commitment is everlasting. And Og, sovereign of Bashan, for his loving commitment is everlasting, and gave their land as an inheritance, for his loving commitment is everlasting, an inheritance to Yisrael, his servant, for his loving commitment is everlasting, who remembered us in our humiliation, for his loving commitment is everlasting, and rescued us from our adversaries, for his loving commitment is everlasting, who gives food to all flesh, for his loving commitment is everlasting. Give thanks to the El of the heavens, for his loving commitment is everlasting.